Okay, so this is the HydroQuote software that they put out. So what we'll do is create a plan. So when I click on this, like I said, these are my old ones. We'll go to new. I'm gonna enter Carson. All right, that's where we're at. Yeah, that's just a name.
Mm-hmm.
So what this program does is we're gonna plot out our property, our area to be irrigated. And basically it's gonna go through a step and it's gonna design the system for me.
Okay.
And not only does it do that, thing I like about it a lot is it'll give me parts list. And it'll break it down. And not only will it give me parts list, it's gonna give me pricing on those parts. Retail pricing. And it's gonna give it all to me.
Retail pricing based on the prices of the industry as right now?
No, retail as in
The
what
price
the-
you charge the customer?
No, the price that,
The store charges the customer?
huh?
The certain stores charge customers?
Well, retail is just what the manufacturer says to charge for.
Oh, okay.
The MSRP.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so you can see here I got property, not watered, watered system, right? So those are all the steps that I'm gonna go through. So another added benefit of this, which is really, really cool, is I can actually go on Google Maps, take a snippet of the property that I'm going to do, implement it into here, and then build on top of it. All I need is some point of reference on the property. Right? So if you just said, okay, the back wall, and you measure that back wall at 100 feet, and then it'll adjust, and then it'll know from that
So
point.
you should already have done your homework at that point before you put the information right there, so that way you could do your measurements on the.
Absolutely, you have to have measurements,
Yeah.
otherwise we
Okay.
don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
So on this one, so if I'm just gonna do it freehand or through the system, we still need measurements. Measurements are still something that we need. So okay, so I'm just gonna go to drag over. So see that, there we go. So that gives me a lot, 100 by 100. So that's boring, right? So we're not doing that. So anyway, I could do it any way I want. So I increased it. I could click, in between here. And it'll give me 2 other spots. So if I have some kind of funky thing going on, right? Maybe they got some planters here. That's a little much.
So you could really manipulate it and play with it as
Right,
really
so
how the layout of the property is.
exactly, right, and that's what we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want something like that. So
And at the same time, it's giving you measurements right there as well, right?
yeah, this is telling me my footage, right? So
Okay.
I'm gonna do that. So we'll say this is it, right? We have some kind of funky thing going on here. Okay, so moving on. So next is the house. What type of house is it, right? I like the idea of having a courtyard house, right? That's pretty sweet. Boom, rotate it here and bring it to the edges. And this is some kind of funky looking house, so let me fix that up there.
That's a real funky looking house.
There we go. So anyway, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got the house. Just for completion, right? Why do I need a house? I'm not irrigating the house. Well, I want to know, hey, I need to place my valves. I want it by the house, my electrical, my water meter, stuff like that. So there's a method to all this madness. So now I'm going to click non-watered. So this could be all grass or not, you know. Well, this is my dream house we're building, right? So of course I'm going to have a pool. Well, shit. I want a pool, right? So pool, turn the pool around. So this is where it gets important because it's going to design and it's going to design around this pool. 50
So
foot
for
long
an
pool.
so for an existing pool, you also utilize this and put it in place so that way you're telling the system where not to water?
Yeah, we're in the non-watering thing, so it says mulch, sidewalks,
Okay.
everything's in here. Okay, so I got a nice, I got a nice deck. I said deck. Don't put words in my mouth. Okay, so there we go. A nice deck. You can put driveways in case you're doing the front lawn or something like that. We'll just put a little sidewalk here, you know, and we're just doing this just for ourselves, so I don't want to get too into, you know, this becomes a game, you know, I feel like we're doing The Sims or something. Okay, so there's my sidewalk to my pool, blah, 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 fencing. If I have a fence, you know, you could lock it so I don't adjust it. I could use that button to click it out. Okay, so if I have a fence around here, right, anything like that, we're gonna say we don't have small children, we're leaving it open. Okay, so trees, so this is important, right? Trees are very important, so let's move the tree here. Oh, double the trees. Okay, so the cool thing about this, so you want to do canopy area. Well, I got a big tree, right? Hedges, shrubs, flower beds, right? So I click flower bed. So here's another interesting part where we can do it. We got options. Water with the lawn, right? We all know that's not efficient, right?
Right.
Water with shrubs. If I have any shrubs, I'll water it the same. Or do I want to water with drip? It'll ask me that. So that's important. So if I click that, if I click drip or don't water, hey, this is my flower bed, this is my garden, I want to hand water this. And it says, okay, then it'll take it out of the equation. So there's a lot of flexibility in this. This is things that we want to look at. Okay, so I want to do it with drip. I'm going to put it over here. I can't put it by the pool, right? The chlorine will kill and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so I got a flower bed there and that's going to be drip. That's my little garden, so I come outside and I do that. Okay, shrubs, hedges. Let's go ahead and put another tree because I love trees. And now I'm just doing this for fun. Okay, so I know there's a point. I mean, there's a point to all this. Alright. The next is being watered. Do I have a specific type of spray that I want? I have sprays? I have rotors down here, and I have rotators, so like MP rotors,
Yes.
right? So if I click MP rotors, well, I want to use the whole zone here. I want to use MP rotors. Alright, so that's what you would do. I'm going to not do that for this time because I want to show you how it'll automatically. So if you don't have to specifically pick certain ones, it'll do it for you based on the size, obviously. So if this is a huge grass area, we're going to say we're going to use rotors pretty much, right?
Right.
Next, we're going to do the system. So now I got to tell where I want the timer. Okay, well I want the timer, let's say right there. So what it'll actually even do, it's going to give me the length of my wiring that I need. what gauge wire, or how length of wire. Where's my connection at? Well, my connection is right here, right? This is my hose bib. So it's giving me linear feet here. Right.
In case you wanna go all the way straight through.
No, it's just giving me reference point.
Okay, reference point, okay.
Rain sensor, sleeves, water meter. So, my water meter's, out here in the front. That's important in case I'm running a brand new main line. Okay, I'm gonna click plan settings. So what's my ID? 1 inch. What's my static pressure? We'll say 65. What's my velocity limit? No limit. We talked about the 5 feet per second, something that we don't want to go over. On the smaller sizes, they usually will do 7 feet per second.
Okay.
I just put no limit so it'll adjust. So see right here it says available flow. My available flow is 18.5 gallons per minute. If I go to 5 feet per second, it drops 5 gallons per minute, right? Increase velocity, increase flow. Lateral line side, it's not. I mean, when we're dealing with these ones, that's really important to stay below 5 on our main lines and our large sizes because that's a lot of volume of water hitting those things. That makes sense, right?
Right.
Okay, so standard T fitting. Factory built manifold or contractor. Well, we like to build our own manifolds, right? Are we doing anti-siphon valves, inline valves, right?
Yes.
Well, we're gonna do anti-siphon, right? Okay, and then so our head types. So we accept those settings. The next thing is place manifolds, right? So it tells me a little thing. That means we're grouping the valves, right? We will automatically calculate the number of manifolds that you will need based on the gallons per minute, number of zones. So it's just kind of giving me a thing, don't place it by utilities. So place manifolds. So now it's working. Okay, so it threw them way over there, right? But it just kind of placed them. So now what we're gonna do is click. Move them to where we want. So we can move them here, yeah? Let's stick them over here. So we'll place our manifolds where we want them. See, originally when I started messing around with this, I thought they'd place the manifold. That's where they want the manifolds. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Why would I run a main line all the way to the other side of the property and then run the
Underneath the tree.
And then so what I figured is that they just kind of throw them out there and
it was up to you where to place them.
exactly. I'm getting super picky about it. I don't want them like overlapping and stuff like that. Anyway. Okay, so we placed our manifolds. So now the next thing is our arcs. So when I click arcs, what it's going to do is going to formulate and it's going to throw my sprinkler system out there. Ready? And working. Boom, there it is. So not only is it a beautiful piece of modern art, that's my irrigation system.
And then, so right here is already telling you what nozzles and what heads are you gonna use.
So we go here on the left, and it tells me how many zones I have. 17 valves. So something I noticed on this system, this program here, is they tend to give me a lot of valves, but people tend to overwork our valves with the velocity being too high.
Yeah.
So, and if I want to just isolate, so I want to take away some of these guys because I want to see what each valve does. As you can see, as I turn them off, oh, I should just hit, okay, so deselect them all. So I want to see zone 1, it's back there, right? So that's my arcs sprays. You know, zone 2, 3. Alright, so then you can go through, see what 5 is. You can see how they kind of group the fulls together because so these are going to be rotors, that's what you want to do.
What if you don't want them like that? What if you want them to go in sequence? You know, start from the house. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's just you would wire it up however you want.
Okay, you just wire it up however you
Right.
want. Okay then.
So I hit heads, that's where all my heads are. Okay. Pipes, that's how I run my pipes.
Wow.
So you can see the value in this. And here's the kicker. Here's my retail price with tax included. And then here's all my parts. And now this was all be done in Blue Lock. This is what it does.
Oh.
It gives it to you all in Blue Lock. So you can adjust and, but another benefit of this, you save it. You send this to the distributor. They can pull the whole order and have it shipped to you.
As opposed to you writing it down yourself,
Or
and
have
going
yeah,
out
right.
there, figuring out
Right.
how many heads you're gonna use.
Right.
and
So for
all
me,
that.
this is what, when I found this and I was shown this, I really enjoyed because I started doing some residential stuff, right? And I'd go there. You know, I'd have a call in. I'd go there. Let's say I have an hour down. I meet with the owner. Owners chit chat them a lot. We'll say we lose half hour there. I walk the property. I'm taking measurements. I spend at least an hour and 2.5 hours. I get back, tell them I'm going to come up with a price and everything like that, and I'll get back to you. So now I'm at 3.5 hours. It'll take me to design a system like that. It'll take me probably 2 hours, right?
Okay.
So now I'm 6.5 hours. Now I got to send the proposal, or I got to drive back, and then it's up to them, and it's usually a high price because I do things the right way. So I basically lost the whole day, right?
Yes.
With nothing to show for it, right? So with this program, what I did, the last job I did, I talked to him, I went, I just did a couple measurements, I did this program, came up with a price, added on my labor, and gave him a quote in 2 hours total, right? Could have even been less, and that's with my travel time there and back. It takes me, well, it took us not that long. I mean, it could be, 20 minutes. I could go back, I could have went back to my truck, did it real fast, come up with this price, because this is the most important price, is our list price of our parts. And then this gave me everything. So I say, well, you know what? They have a controller, so I could take these controllers off. See, I drop my price. Well, they don't need X or Z, or they don't need valves. So I can click valve off. So I'm dropping the price.
Yes.
So see, one of the biggest ones here was pipe, right? Running all those pipes. That's half of the price of the whole project. So you can kind of look and tweak and do all these things, but it really comes down to the speed and efficiency, and that's what the whole HydroRain thing is.
And it tells you where the layout of each sides of the pipes are, right?
Right.
Tells you where, say, 1 inch is if you're starting off your valves, or your valves are 1 inch, and then you start out with 1 inch out of your valves, and then, okay.
So the benefit, like I said, is the speed of this. Now, am I going to use this exactly on the job, the layout and everything like that? I don't know, probably not. not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You never go in, never design a plan and then do it exactly,
Right.
because you might get there and be like, as you're doing something, oh, if I ran this trench here, I could do this or that, or it'd be better. But if they say yes to you, then you go back and tweak. But don't go and do all that work and tweak and not get paid for it,
Right.
you know? So it's really, really cool. And maybe, like I said, when you import a picture of the property and you build on it, then you know exactly.
How come there's no prices on the nozzles?
Well, nozzles are free. They're for rotors. And you buy the rotor, you get the nozzle tree for free.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got the nozzles on, you pay for the nozzles on the sprays.
On the spray head, yeah.
Yeah. So it breaks it down for you completely. Even gives you your connectors, and it gives you a really good, because I did drips, so. So yeah, so then if you go to save and print, so let's look at the plan, what it prints out for me. Don't you know you're going on YouTube? Okay. Alright, so this is what it prints out for me. It gives me the whole property, it tells me my valve, the size of the valve, the gallons per minute in each valve. So we had 18, but see, really, there's only one number 15 that gave me 16 gallons per minute.
Yes.
So all the other ones are like under, so you could probably jump a couple together. But they sized them, because you want your fulls on one, if you can get away with it. Otherwise, you got to mess with nozzling,
Yeah.
and you're working with uneven watering, which is not a good thing. So this is the HydroRain HydroQuote. Like I said, it's a useful tool, and it is just that. It is a tool, right? And just like anything, but I enjoy it. I think it's cool, especially if you're just gonna do drip. Like you're gonna be doing a lot of retrofits, dude. You could totally just do this all in drip, and it'll give you everything you need.
Wow.
It's the future. Everything's handy, but so yeah. Any questions on it or anything?
Nice. No.
It's pretty awesome, huh?
Yes, it is.